What's up, everybody? Welcome in. I'm Brian. He's Jay. It's our Florida, Georgia prediction video, and it's Florida, Georgia, Jay, in case you weren't familiar with how it's correctly said. We are presented to you by FanDuel, and let's tell you about our friends at Game Time Sidekicks, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, plus over 350 more universities. Everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, and 40-ounce plus bottles and shaker cups. SE16 for the 20% discount to viewers. All right, Florida, Georgia, 3:30 p.m. Eastern kick in Jacksonville, and our friends at FanDuel have Georgia as a 7.5-point favorite at a minus 104 price. If you want the Gators, plus 7.5, it's minus 118 juice. The Gators are plus 235 on the money line. The total is 50 and 1/2. And in the first quarter, UGA minus 1.5 at a minus 106 price in the first half. Georgia's minus 3.5 at a minus 122 price. All right, what's happening, Jay?
Not much, man. Just now, good and woken up at 10:30 Eastern on Tuesday morning after the Dodgers and Blue Jays took us well into the evening.
Did I read 2:39 a.m. Eastern that it ended?
Your
I
time,
believe.
yes.
Yes. All right. Georgia 6-1 straight up, 3-3-1 against the spread. Florida 3-4 straight up, 2-5 ATS. The under 5-2 overall. For the Gators, for Georgia, totals have been a wash. 3-3-1 overall, and Georgia has won 4 in a row over the Gators, all by double-digit margins. However, they only covered in 2 of those, but they won all of them by 14 or more. Florida has not beaten Georgia since 2020, 44-28. And even furthermore, Georgia has won 7 of the last 8. So this is almost getting to like Spurrier went 11-1 against Georgia. I don't. I think we. When did Kirby get there? Let's see here. Kirby got there
16.
in
16. He's 7-2.
Yeah. You are correct there. All right. First game without Napier. So until last week with Colorado State, I think it was only one other team with an interim coach that didn't cover. I think it's now either 6-2 or 7-2 with the interim head coach taking over in their very first game, and that's the case with Billy Gonzalez, longtime wide receiver coach at Florida, in 3 different tenures, if I'm not mistaken. Napier, maybe Muschamp, and definitely Urban. But anyhow, he takes over. I think Florida's good. What do you expect from Florida with a new regime? I kind of think that they're going to throw the ball all over the yard and have better play calling.
Well, I don't know if they can have much worse play calling.
They definitely can't.
So, look, man, I think the line feels a little awkward to me. This is, and maybe it's got that built-in kind of bump from the coaching change of emotion and whatever else you try to put your finger on in when all these analytics spit out all these numbers. Because, look, since Kirby's been there, this is a 2-score game, whoever wins it. And maybe that's part of the rivalry that I'm not saying you run it up, but you're damn sure not leaving anything to chance. Depending on who wins it, I mean, was the 24-17 game a handful of years ago like one of the only ones that's been decided by what is lower than the line we see before us?
Yes, there's only been one possession game since Kirby got there. The 2 Florida wins were by 14 and 16. And hey, I very specifically remember this game. I had Florida plus I want to say 7.5. Let's see what it says the line was here. Oh, it says 6.5, but I had bought it to maybe I had 7, and maybe I had taken a little bit of the Gators live. We scored late to make it 24-17, and I remember it being an enormous relief to me that we got the late score. So basically, they could have easily not been any one possession games.
And before we break it down as best we can, because we don't know what Billy Gonzalez in Florida is going to do. You're right. They may throw, it may be Fumble Rooski, Statue of Liberty, the annexation for Puerto Rico, for God's sakes. I mean, it could be just about anything. But I do believe this. Kirby at his alma mater hates Auburn and Florida.
Yeah. He went 1-3 as a player against the Gators. 97.
And
they got the
does everything in his power to make certain these are punctuated wins every chance he gets.
No doubt about it. I made the line 8. Well, we'll get to picks here in a little bit. But all right, so Georgia, both teams have had 2 weeks to prepare, by the way. Georgia's won 3 in a row since the Alabama loss. They've covered in all 3, albeit by only a half point. And I just am more impressed with Gunnar Stockton every week. He's now 70.4 completion percentage, 1,548 yards, 10-1 TDI ratio, 7 rushing touchdowns, and 279 rushing yards. You know, back in August, we would have said quarterback advantage Florida. I mean, and look, I think we know Lagway is capable of playing fantastic. But, I mean, quarterback advantage Georgia, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what is with the Napier, the root canal that removed the rotten tooth that was Napier? Look, man, you look at Georgia, and there's not a whole lot. Their leading rusher has 376 yards. Their leading receiver has 362. They've given up more sacks than they've generated. I mean, this is a surreal Georgia football team that is relying on guts a hell of a lot more than the 8 or 9 NFL future top 3 round draft picks that just show up and beat your eyes out. I mean, and it starts with the guy you mentioned. Gunnar Stockton is a gamer.
Yeah. Yep. He sure is. And, you know, they haven't run the ball on nearly – I mean, they haven't done hardly anything as good as they have done in the past, but yet they've only got 1 loss by 3. You know, I mean, even the running back – I mean, Bowens has got a team-high 376 rushing yards, 5.4 yards per carry. Frazier, 349, 4.5 yards per carry. You know, the receivers are not. I mean, they're good, but not great. I mean, they're number 71 defensively against the pass, which is unheard of for Kirby. But like has been saying, they play hard, they fight, and they've been finding ways to win. Whereas on the other side, you know, Florida has not been finding ways to win. I mean, look, now they've been solidly beaten in many of their games, but USF and LSU could have easily been wins. Miami and A&M put it on them, and then they're fortunate to win against Mississippi State, and had their best game of the year against Texas. As for Florida, yeah, you know, you don't know. I'm just looking at statistically, they've been so bad offensively. Number 89 in the nation in total offense, 66 in passing yards, 102 in rushing yards. Was one of the best running backs in the country. 106 in scoring, 22.4 points per game. But if you take out the Long Island 55-point, output, I mean, I don't know what the math is on that, but it's not very good. I mean, 29 is their highest scoring game outside against an FBS opponent, and then it's 23 to Mississippi State. So this offense has been abysmal, but now we got a new play caller.
Well, you may have a new play caller, and unless his middle name is Orr, there are a handful of things. I don't know how much it matters, Brian, because, look, you and I broke down every single team in the summer. I thought the strength of this football team was going to be its offensive line, and they have been crap-tastic.
Yeah, they have been. It hasn't been on the defense. The defense has been good most games.
Well, didn't we think that Slaughter at center was going to be like a third-team All-American, and that one of the tackles was going to be a first-day draft pick?
We did.
And
we did.
And you take out the 55 bagel to the Long Island tees, and it's just been every game is a chore.
Yeah, it has been horrible. All right. It has been horrible. All right, before we get to our predictions, let's talk to you about three yearly company. Yearly Company is a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition and designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14K gold and natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit and backed by a lifetime guarantee. Because every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized, knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. It's where our sizing kit comes in. Code SE16KIT will take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. Also, ROKFORM, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting, SCC25 for 25% off. And HOVI Dry Goods, your new favorite hat. Look no further than HOVI hats for high quality headwear with a great fit and unique designs. Bad beat for 15% off. All right. You want to go first?
I sure do, because I think you and I are going to be on opposite sides of this.
All right.
This is a game tailor-made for Lively for a couple of reasons. Georgia's first quarter struggles are real, friends, real. Georgia's guts in the second half are also real. And you have to expect a fast start from the interim. You've got 2 weeks to prepare. There's no idea what Georgia should be able to expect from Billy Gonzalez and his guys who want to do whatever they can to improve their resume in this very short time. I mean, dear Lord, man, Billy Gonzalez has an opportunity in front of him to change his career narrative. You know it? I mean, so look, I expect Florida to start fast, and I really like Georgia minus 7.5. I love the dogs to cover this number. They've got so much more to play for. They are tremendous in the second half. And you really have to wonder, when does the teams in the bottom half of this SEC, your alma mater and mine, when their stars start making business decisions?
Yep. Wow. So I just looked this up. So Georgia's trailed at halftime in 4 of their 5 SEC games, the only exception being Kentucky at home. That's wild. So, yeah, if Florida gets a lead early, I agree with Jay. I think you should be looking to bet Georgia live, especially, you can get that number, around 4-ish, minus that is. But, no, I like Georgia too. I made the line 8. It's 7.5. I'm going to wait and, see if it maybe gets to 7. But yeah, I think Georgia's going to win. I think they're going to cover, but I could see Florida being feisty early. I could see them leading at halftime. But no, I think we're in agreement here. We both like Georgia, and we will both lay the points. And we obviously like them outright as well. But maybe be patient and maybe look for a better line live. But then again, you try that route, and if it doesn't present itself, then you're kicking yourself all day. All right. For Jay Greason, I am Brian Edwards. We like Georgia. Florida, Georgia, and Jacks, 3:30 Eastern on Saturday.